Have you been considering selling your New Jersey home, but don't really understand what the costs are going to be or how they impact your next move? You are not alone. Hi, I'm Robert Webb, team leader of the Destination NJ Home Selling Team. I'm here to help you navigate all things real estate, specifically focused on helping our clients with buying, selling, and living in the heart of NJ, North and Central New Jersey. If you enjoyed this type of content, please make sure you give this video a like. It helps get this video to more people that could use this information. Now today, I'm gonna shine a spotlight on the costs you could expect when selling your home so that you can appropriately plan for your move and figure out your finances for you and your family and not stay stuck because you don't really know what the cost may be. The first major cost to consider is the Realty transfer tax. As a general rule of thumb, and if you just want to be really quick off the cuff, you can expect to pay right around 1% of the value of your property as the New Jersey transfer tax. But the more in-depth answer is that it scales. So lower priced properties will pay well under 1% and higher end properties will pay higher than 1%. Here is a look at the current rates per the New Jersey State's website. And it works the same way as your income taxes work, meaning that the first X amount of money is taxed at one lower rate, and the further up you go that scale, the more money you pay per 500,000. And the further up you go on that scale, the more you pay per $500 of value. And to further complicate it, New Jersey has different rates whether your property is under $350,000 or over $350,000. But since I like to try and make things as simple as possible, I found this calculator on the New Jersey Association of Realtors website. It is going to help take all of the headache off of you and calculate your transfer tax more easily. I am going to leave this link down below in the description, so feel free to check it out there. But as a quick example, I plugged in a $300,000 value, a $650,000 value, and a $1,050,000 value, just to give you an example of what they might look like at a couple different price points. And if you don't like paying tax, which let's be honest, who does? There are actually some groups of people that can get a partial exemption from this tax. If you are an owner of a 1 to 2 family residential home that is owned or occupied by one of these 3 types of people, a senior citizen, a blind person, or a disabled person, you may be able to get a partial exemption of this tax. There are even some cases where you might get a full waiver of this tax, but they tend to be more in-house transactions where the property is being moved around inside an existing family dynamic. Just as a disclaimer, I am not an attorney or a CPA, and these potential partial or full waivers should definitely be consulted with an attorney and a CPA to make sure that you comply with all laws and regulations. And I am just speaking in broad strokes here based on my research of the state's website. But if you are selling your home to a third party and you don't fall into one of these 3 camps that I mentioned that could potentially get a partial waiver or a full waiver, plan on paying that transfer tax. Next up is your attorney fee. If you are in South Jersey where attorneys are not as prevalent, you likely won't have to pay this. But up here in North and Central New Jersey, attorneys are very involved in the transaction. They do everything from answering legal questions that realtors are not allowed to answer, to reviewing and even changing the contract during the attorney review period in your favor to make sure everything is properly documented and disclosed throughout the process, and make sure everything is above board, and work with the title company to shore up the numbers, and finally explain the large amount of closing documents that you are going to have to sign at the end. They are a critical part of this process and work hand in hand the entire way with you and me once we get that contract accepted. While the price will range from attorney to attorney, I have found that most of the ones that do a better job usually charge between $1,350 and $1,650. My best piece of advice is to make sure that you are working with an attorney that specializes in real estate. Just because they are a lawyer doesn't mean that they are an expert in every single area. And what you don't want is to bring in a litigation or a divorce attorney into your real estate transaction, just like you wouldn't want to bring in your ear, nose, and throat doctor into your open heart surgery. Choose the right person for the right job. Next up, we have realtor commissions. A great realtor is going to do way more than simply list your house for sale. An amazing realtor is going to understand the market, know where the trends are headed, and help you get ahead of the curve to maximize your home's potential in the current market. They're going to know where they can push and get away with it and avoid getting burned in negotiations because they have seen it day in and day out and understand all the market dynamics that go into getting your property done and understand all the dynamics that go into getting your property closed. They are going to assist in the prep of the house, the staging, the marketing, the negotiations, and so on, all to make sure that you are getting top dollar for your house and capitalizing on the current market. Notice that I keep saying a great realtor. We here on the DNJ Home Selling Team are on a crusade to bring a new standard of care to the real estate industry here in the heart of NJ. And we think that you, the consumer, deserves better than the typical agent. So please understand that while every agent is licensed, not every agent is an expert, and not every agent has the right team around them to truly help you reach your full potential in your home sale. If you want to check out another one of my videos, I filmed one with 5 tips for finding the best realtor in your market, and I'm going to leave a link down below right next to the link that if you want to get started working with me and my team on your home selling journey, so check out both of those. Back to it though. Real estate commissions will vary and are negotiable, but for the sake of this video, let's say that they typically range from 5 to 6% of your home's value. But the agent doesn't keep all of that commission. Whenever a listing is taken and put into the MLS, the listing agent offers out what is called a co-broke, or a portion of the total commission that gets offered out to the selling agent for bringing that buyer to the table and closing the deal. This is to incentivize agents to bring their clients in and show and sell your home, and is how the buyer's agent makes money. Lastly, we have a lesser known fee, which is the Township's Certificate of Continued Occupancy and Smoke Certificates. Every township is a little different in what they require on this front, but in most cases, each township will require either a CCO or a smoke cert or both. And they're going to require it before you, the seller, are allowed to legally sell your home. In the case of a CCO, this is the township's way of enforcing codes and making sure that the properties that are being sold are up to some semblance of a standard the township deems appropriate. An example of this would be Piscataway Township, where the township representative pretty much did an entire new inspection of the property in addition to the one that the buyer did, and actually wanted a few more things fixed before they would issue that certificate. Whereas the smoke certificate is a bit more straightforward and usually encompasses making sure that you have the right fire detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and fire extinguishers in the right places and in the working order. As I mentioned, some towns only require one and some require both. And this is where your township and your real estate agent can really help guide you. These fees usually range from $50 to $250 in my experience, plus any items you need to complete that certification. So here are 2 examples on the screen, one of a $400,000 house and one of an $800,000 house, just to give you an idea of what the numbers might look like roughly. Now granted, this doesn't take into account whatever potential existing mortgage you have, so you have to add that in for yourself, but this will definitely be a guide to give you an idea to start the process. Well, that's all I got. If you like this type of content, make sure that you like this video and subscribe. And if you want to get started working with me and my team on buying and selling a home here in the heart of NJ, I want to invite you to click the first link down below in the description, and we would love to have a chat with you about your needs, what you're looking for, and how we could help.